Hello, and well, should I say,
Kapla.
Kapla, Koi Kalis
Kapla.
Buklo.
Oh, yeah, man.
Talwar Negu. There's so many Klingon songs we love to sing, but maybe not tonight. Welcome to Trek 10 Klingons.
Indeed.
We are your Hosts, Devin and Dave.
Your locutors of Trek and Plain Simple
Tailies.
Tailies.
That's us.
Indeed.
And we are here to let's define Trek 10 Klingons, shall we?
Okay.
Now, the way we seem to have aligned this list is it's predominantly of the Klingons we've seen in the show.
Sure.
Maybe the most influential or effectual, with a splash of awesome performances that kind of can't be denied. But
that's true. Yeah.
But
yeah,
I would say we predominantly put it
it's
together on most important Trek 10 Klingons to other Klingons. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, another way to look at it is our favorite Klingons. But
well, it's not ranked.
That would be to diminish its scope and grandeur.
Yes, it's definitely would. It definitely would.
So I like
honestly,
this
if it was my 10 favorite Klingons, this list would be different.
No, I think your point's well made. All teasing aside, it really is about Klingons who have a sort of they have an effect on the whole kind of warp and weft of Klingon society, right? In some way or another.
Yep. Oh, Don Ranger Power says hello, Devin and Dave and all, which is just Devin and Dave tonight. Hope everyone is well despite the passing of us, and yes, indeed, Star Trek Enterprise star, or guest star, Ambassador Saval himself, Gary Graham. Yes, R.I.P. Gary Graham.
Oh my goodness,
Saval's a top-tier Klingon for me. I mean, or a Vulcan for me. He was greatly performed. I like a Vulcan that sort of has that contempt on their face, somewhat, but they're not overly aggressive about their contempt, but he's there.
He's like a one chili spicy Vulcan.
Yeah. So R.I.P. Gary Graham.
Indeed. Yeah.
Well, let's get back to our
whenever he was on screen, really.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
Well, let's get into it.
In memoria and honorable mentions aside, let's get moving.
Yeah, well, we'll save the honorable mentions for the end, perhaps, or maybe before the top.
We might sneak some in there.
Yeah.
I shouldn't cut us
off.
All right. Entirely.
Well, let's go with number 10.
How lucky you are! How wonderful for you!
Oh, I did that backwards, didn't I? All right. Yeah, that was supposed to be my sound effect for number 1, but I put it on number 10. Yeah, I counted backwards. So there goes that joke. That was going to show up for number 1.
That's okay. But anyway, you know what it does do is it reinforces our long-running mastery of lists gag.
Oh, you're right, it does. Number 10.
It's very generous of you because normally I mess up what number we're on and how many list entries I'm supposed to have.
Oh, there's time.
That's true. I may still have some screw-ups up my sleeve. Here we go. Chancellor Kempek.
All right, you make the case for Kempek because I would say he was more your choice. I don't know if he just squeaked on for me.
Kempek, who, as noted by an old non-flame of his, was still fat.
He's always had a bit of a weight problem. Yeah.
Right. He's consistent. He's sort of immovable in his policy. He is not a friend to all, and certainly was quite happy to throw even great houses under the wing of the bird of prey if need be. So,
the House of Moog.
Very Klingon in some ways, A very Klingon politician in other ways.
Yeah.
But for me, Kempek sneaks onto this list as, first of all, being one of our first great glimpses into Klingon culture. This would have been what, 1990, 91? This is season 3 of TNG-ish.
3. Yeah. So
Where
that'd be like 89 or 90, right?
something like that, right?
Yeah.
Which is the return of Kalar, or a return of Kalar. And then we meet Kempek as well, who is we only meet him for a very short time, but for me,
well, he's dying.
Well, right? He's like, and I'm done.
The most
we do see the
epic
great scene
Kempek
of him
moment,
getting
I
wailed
think,
with pan sticks.
and
see
he
if
has
he's
a few
still
epic
alive.
kind of lines and moments in the short time we see him. But my favorite one is, well, it's not even a line, but he just keeps drinking the poison. They're like, "What are you doing?" He's just like, "It's too late now." But he still could have refreshed his glass with some actual blood wine that doesn't have poison in it. But he's just like,
I kind of like the taste of the poison now.
I'm a Klingon. This is hardcore. I'm like, yeah.
Why can't I get that poison tang
Jeff
with regular blood wine anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I think for me, Kempek,
what's his greatest significance
real,
on Klingon culture?
Yeah, his big
society.
contribution and influence in this respect is that he insisted upon the relationship with the Federation right until the end by choosing Picard as his
the
arbiter of succession. He demands that the Federation and its sort of prime directive principles pull themselves into the Klingon Empire somehow, and sort of demonstrate their own good faith through doing Klingon things the Klingon way. You know,
like Targ is here.
Oh, hello, Targ.
That's a good Targ.
He is. Yeah, I mean, to me, he structurally forces that relationship to continue for longer than it might have in his absence. Because even Gowron is never really particularly committed to that relationship.
No, and it's, I think, something that's gonna show itself a few times in this list is the importance of the Federation relationship to basically the survival of the Klingon Empire, you could even say. Like,
yeah,
they're
sure.
like the Klingons would never admit it, but like they're almost the Canada-US relationship, and they're the Canada. Like, they would never admit that, but as far as like defense in that kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Our like,
but in terms of
our foreign policy on defense is they'll take care of it, you know. But
because we abjectly can't.
Yeah.
No, it is. I think, you know, in terms of industrial production and the size of the economy, though, it might be fair to say that that would be a sort of relationship between the Federation and the Klingon Empire.
And if the Federation wasn't there, I think the likelihood of Romulus invading the Klingon Empire goes up quite significantly.
Oh, without the Federation there, how great does Romulus grow, right? That's a crazy question. Ooh, no kidding.
Or no, I just mean as an ally to the Klingon Empire. Like, if the Federation becomes hostile to the Klingon Empire, you can do that. Anyway, that's our number 10.
No, I see.
Right, you make a fair case for Kempek. That's good. All right. So let's move on from that to our number 9. Now, this video I got right. Number 9 pick for this evening, Antak.
Oh.
Now, I'll make a case for Antak because I think he was kind of my addition here. So Antak, I think the reason he stands out now, he's not someone who's going to come to the mind of other Klingons as far as being significant. Well, most Klingons. I'm sure scientific Klingons know exactly who Antak is. And even some higher-ups in the military who were in charge of the whole the whole
Sure.
augment.
Yeah, but you're right. He's probably his
program.
identity is probably fairly classified in
Yeah,
some respects
yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Because they don't want to talk about that. It's part of their history. Also, like they probably buried his name actually.
It's quite possible.
But the significance he had on the culture, I think, is undeniable. Because without him, there would probably be no ridged Klingons anymore, or ridgeless Klingons in the past. But that whole thing, I guess, comes back to him.
Yes.
Like he created the ridgeless Klingons, but he also cured it from.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's just
And
such a
he's
big
in that
piece
sense
of
he
Klingon history.
He saved the Klingon species, right? Because that virus could have killed
After endangering it.
every
Which, honestly, to be fair, the endangering of it, not his idea. He was kind of forced
He was
into it by the
in a
military.
project to create Klingon augments, yeah. So yeah, I mean,
And,
he's involved in definitely some morally dubious science, even by Klingon sort of ambition standards. But
making
I
stronger
think,
warriors and that type of thing. Like,
yeah, but he makes some wonderful, wonderful points in that episode about the relationship of sort of the Klingon heart to many fields, and how even there he feels like it's beginning to narrow. It's something that Enterprise comments on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, Antak is closer. Yeah, go ahead.
No, fine, yeah.
Oh, Antak's closer to the time, so he says, I think it was him, when science wasn't so thought down upon in Klingon society, like when everyone didn't want to be a warrior. Like being a warrior wasn't always the only path to glory in Klingon society. It became that closer towards, the 24th century and that type of thing. But Antak's closer to the time when the scientists were more revered, and that's something we see in Enterprise. Like the J.G. Hertzler character, the lawyer, talks about how his parents were a teacher and a lawyer and stuff like that. And he was that, and
they really represent the sort of passing of an age in Klingon archetypes of success and virtue and honor, right?
So the other thing I would add to Antak and his significance to Klingon society is that he was another torchbearer of that. He's carrying on that, love of science and the fact that you can achieve glory and honor through science and other pursuits.
Yeah.
So that's why I would give it to
Antak. He's a real counter type,
Well acted too. And so is Kimpek. Like all those choices we've made are just really.
If we can just stay on Antak for a moment here, John Shuck has to be one of my favorite character actors of all time. I have loved him since I first saw episodes of Macmillan and Wife on A&E as a child in the morning. Man, every time I see his face show up on something, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a great character. Bring it on. I love John Shuck. Yeah.
All right. Well, very good. All right. Let's move on, shall we? All right. Number 8.
Number 8.
Kang.
Here we are. Kang.
Kang of House Kang.
Indeed.
Tell us why Kang of House Kang is at number 8, Dave.
That's how he answers the phone. Kang, House of Kang.
Yep. Kang, House of Kang. You've reached the House of Kang. Kang speaking. I'm going to start doing that, actually. You've reached the House of Kang. Because everyone has cell phones now. Like it's a better joke on a landline. But
yeah, it's true. It's true. So Kang is a great conqueror, a great diplomat. That's
funny on a resume. Conqueror, diplomat.
I know. A warlord by times. He's one of the he's one of the real original 3 Klingon nemesis in the original series. And so in that sense, I think he has at the very least a sentimental place in Star Trek history. But at the same time, Kang himself is he's a strategic genius. He's ruthless,
Dahar Master.
And he's a Dahar master, and uh, was again one of those Klingons who lived long enough and gloriously enough to see beyond the kinds of glory that would attract most Klingons, you know? He saw things, for instance, in Curzon Dax that were uh, different. You know, I mean, he's a Klingon that could live in a galactic society in ways that could accommodate both who he was as a Klingon and um, still encounter other beings. And I think that's one of the
Yeah,
fascinating things about him, right? He just has this ferocious, curious intelligence.
yeah, yeah. Really great character in that way. Like he really
Mhm.
starting to like initial feelers of peace with the Federation, just in being able to like become friends with a Curzon Dax. You know?
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
important because
absolutely.
again, the Federation Klingon relationship super important. More important than the Klingons would ever admit. So
Absolutely.
yeah, all right. Well said on
Well, thank you.
Kang. All right, let's move
See.
on to number 7. Core
There he is.
of House Core. Look, one of my favorite Klingons for sure. This is, I mean, not the only reason he's on this list, but this is definitely one of those. Just a great acting performance, kind of maybe bumped him up the list a
Yes.
couple spots. But very much a lot of the same things you said about Kang can apply to Core.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely shows his strategic and battlefield genius in, soldiers or once more into the breach. They're like, how
Mm-hmm.
can one ship take on not even just one ship, it's one guy. How can one guy
Yes.
take on 18 other ships? They're like, it doesn't seem possible. But he's just, just going nuts. He's just like says you have to confuse their sensors in the opening moments with a spread of torpedoes.
He's
So
and he's just he knows this sort of thing, you know, just at the level of like how he breathes and how he gets out of a chair, you know. This is
yeah.
uh and
But
it's
if
wonderful to see him come back
yeah,
to life that way.
yeah, yeah. Oh, that's a great episode. One of
Yeah.
a friend of the show, JG Hertzler's favorites.
Hmm.
Uh,
And you know, one of the things that I think makes him different from Kang though is his
personable.
like his just such broad sense of humor.
Yeah. Like
Like
if
he's one
Kang
of
can
those
get
Klingons
along
who
with
really
other
laughs.
species, like
Yeah.
if Kang can get along with a galactic society, Core definitely can. And
Oh
Core will do it
man,
with a
Korra gets
smile on his
invited to
face.
all the
Like
parties.
he gets invited to all the parties. Um, yeah, Core's great, and
Yeah.
it just carries on those friendships more than Kang does. Like
Yeah.
he made friends with uh, Dax and or Jedzia and even Ezri. I think once more into the
I think
breaches in
maybe
season
yeah.
7. Could be wrong. Um, but yeah, Core, and he's just John Colicos nails the performance.
Oh yeah.
He's just so funny. Um, and once more into the breach, it's just like Kang, he lives long enough, but like it got sad for Core. Don't enjoy life while it's fresh from the vine because it gets bitter after a
Hmm.
time. He
Hmm.
found the low points in Klingon society where it's like there is a bit of ageism, and not just ageism, but he makes it very clear that he kind of crossed everybody.
Yes.
He's like not enough friends and too many enemies. He says is his biggest problem. Like he probably has more
Yeah, and
friends
he's perfectly
outside of the
happy to.
Klingon Empire than in it,
Yes, and he's
which is
perfectly
strange.
happy to live hard the way he did as a youth, in a way that I think Kang doesn't. Kang allows himself to age in a different way, I think.
Yeah.
But again, they're like two sides of the sort of the Klingon psyche in some ways, right?
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
Maybe
All
not
right.
every side, but at least two of them.
Let's move on, shall we? Where are we at?
All
Number
right.
6? friend of the show, Chancellor Martok of House of Martok. If you didn't catch our show on Monday, we had a nice chat with JG Hertzler. Was it Monday? Anyway, it was this week. No, it was Friday or something like that, wasn't it? Anyway, we had a great chat with
We're
JG.
clearly still riding on the high of that, so we're not really even sure what day of the week it is anymore.
He regaled us with stories and anecdotes for a good 2 hours, and it was amazing.
Oh my goodness.
What a
great conversation. Yeah, but apart from the absolutely delightful personage acting the character, Martok is one of the ass-kickingest Klingons we've ever seen on Star Trek. I think, just to be perfectly honest. He's and I think he's one of those characters we see in so many different and interesting incarnations that it's hard not to see him as a deeply influential character, even just in how we understand Klingons, right? Because we see him first as this dynamic, interesting, sort of beloved general who turns out to be not who he says he was. We then find him as this sort of embattled prisoner of war who then has to kind of recover himself and then reaches these other incredible heights, right? It's an absolutely fascinating character arc, and played with depth.
Oh, flawless performance. Of all the Klingons, he's maybe the most Klingon and maybe the best portrayed as a Klingon, because Worf's not fully Klingon in his cultural upbringing. He like Martok, but right before the show, just today, we planned this list a little while ago, I bumped Martok up a couple spots, and here's where I think his great significance is in the Klingon Empire, because like, if you were asked Esri Dax, for example, where she says she's more cynical about the Klingon Empire, it's because it's just these few noble houses that have always been in power, and they're all corrupt, and they're all just out for their own means. And Martok is like the first chancellor in forever to break that cycle. He was born, as JG says, in a trash heap in the Kentha Lowlands, and raises to be chancellor, and not through ambition, but just through honor and glory, and it being thrust upon him. He sets just an unbelievable precedent in Klingon society that they need. That's why,
right? Like he aimed to be an officer.
Yeah,
right. That was his true desire, was to be an officer.
He had to work for that so hard.
But like in a certain sense, I like the way you put that. That his search to just be sort of honorable Klingon in his own time meant that in one way he really is the perfect guy to take that mantle.
Chancellor Martok, friend of the show. Go back and check that out. And there he is.
Indeed. There he is.
Fresh
out of the police van.
Fresh out of the clink. Out of the clinker. Oh, those happy jailbirds. We love those guys. James Cromwell, J.G. Hertzler. Legends.
Beautiful.
Arrested for being against fracking. It's a great thing to be arrested for.
Indeed. Down with that.
But good job, JG. Go watch our JG interview.
Oh, I'm so glad you found that photograph. Oh, that's great.
Oh my god. The Russians didn't think to land in water is maybe the funniest thing I've ever heard. Anyway, it's out of context, but go watch the interview. I actually made a short clip out of that, so go to our socials and you can see.
Yeah,
it's
pretty good.
So that's Chancellor Martok. Now let's move on to number 5. Number 5, Chakuvma. Now, not one of my favorite performances, because he's one of the mushmouth Klingons and I can't make out what he's saying anyway. that they did in the Discovery. But I did find this storyline compelling. Like, I'm one of the few people, it seems, that found the first season of Discovery to be the best one. Because I liked this Klingon War story for the most part, and I liked this Takuma character and the significance of him, as he's the Klingon who unites the Klingon houses. So before Takuma, they were even more at war with each other than they are when we pick up in the 23rd, 24th century.
It's really a series of Klingon kingdoms, or sort of a series of Klingon empires, right?
Yeah. So Takuma, the performance is what it is, but he has some good lines. Just like they're like, we come in peace, and he's just like, no, they're not. Like, he just like loses it, which from his perspective, they don't come in peace. Like, the Federation do come with a certain level of assimilation, not to the Borg level, but they have expectations that you have to meet.
Well, there's a lifestyle that they come with,
yeah,
right? And yeah, it may look like pretty minimal demands to some people, but to the Klingon heart, that's going to look like chains, especially to Takuma's, right? Yeah,
certainly the impact on Klingon culture and society is pretty high with Takuma.
Yeah.
So, kind of short and sweet.
They did
with
have
him,
ridges,
but
that's good.
They have ridges, but
they got ridges.
Unite the houses. That's a thing. There probably wasn't a Klingon council before him,
right? That's not a small achievement in its own right.
No. All right, number. Tell us why Chancellor Gorkon is number 4. Your friend of mine, Chancellor Gorkon.
Well,
okay.
I mean, if only his taste in Andorian ale there could tell us. Gorkon is absolutely wonderful. I'm sure he too is a fan of Shakespeare in English, but in
the original Klingon, it is breathtaking.
Now, Gorkon, to my mind, again, he continues our theme this evening of Klingons making the difficult decision to begin talking with the Federation after fighting a series of a couple of major and then a series of minor but inconclusive conflicts with the Federation. Most of the time, the Klingons were able to get the early advantage, but in almost every instance, the Federation were able to decisively defend themselves once they could get their act together, which is honestly a consistent theme for the Federation. They get hit, they figure out a way to defend themselves. But Gorkon finds a way to bring the Klingon Empire to the negotiating table. Not, of course, without some dissent. But ultimately gives
on the legacy of like the Kangs and the Kors. Like, well, he's for that, so it's like actually kind of leads to that, I suppose. Leads to that legacy of Kang and Kor, where it's like these people.
Yeah, I mean, he may have been one of the people to move them in that direction, right?
Yeah,
because he'd certainly be a contemporary with them, as he's a contemporary of Kirk and the others.
Oh yeah, more of a contemporary. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
it's all around the same time.
But it's a really seminal period in that whole history, right? The first time they're really ever able to come to terms and see each other in some ways, even grudgingly, militarily, as equals.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's I mean, that's all we need to say for Gork. Great performance as well by
I mean, come on.
Geez.
Yeah.
Come on. What's his he plays the Cardassian too. He plays Gulmadred.
I've lost his name.
God, I can't believe I can't remember.
If anyone in the chat can supply it, We will be forever
Yeah.
indebted
Oh, God.
and owe you 2 slips of metaphorical laughter.
Such a classic actor. Yeah, I'll think of it. All right, number 3.
Let me see here.
Yep.
Go mode.
Yeah.
David Warner.
Oh, David Warner, of course. Of course. He's in the movie
Yeah.
Time After Time as well with
He
Malcolm
is.
McDowell.
I'm almost struck by his resemblance to the journalist John Pilger.
Number
Look at
3,
that.
Worf, son of
What a
Moog,
striking
House of
image.
Martok, son of Sergei, House of Roshenko, Bane to the Duras family, Slayer of Gowron.
Ooh. That's some good damn titles.
Worf, son of Moog, like in the time where we experienced most of our Star Trek episodes, there is no more significant Klingon. Like,
no,
he's the maker of kings, like he's the kingmaker of, Martok, but he was the kingmaker of Gowron too. Like, nothing happens of too much significance in Klingon society without Worf's fingerprints on it. I mean, that's crazy for an outsider, but it's true.
Indeed. But and interestingly, it's because of how he became an outsider, right? That whole sense of being sent
Treachery.
away almost as a sort of prodigal Klingon, right? Ruined out into the world, brought him back as the sort of scion of this marriage or this cultural encounter between Klingon and human, particularly, but Klingon and Federation more widely, their cultures, right? He's and it's interesting because it's never easy for Worf, right? Like he's always kind of pulled in various directions as much as he's not a character who can find peace in that being of two worlds.
No. It's
and I think it's in his embracing of the turmoil in himself, right? I love that speech he makes in season 1, where is their brothers in blood or whatever when they rescue the
one
other
where the
Klingons.
Klingons come on board there.
Yeah. That speech he makes that he's like, you just don't get it. That the real war is in here, right? The warrior is on the battlefield of their own spirit.
Yeah, he makes that
Worf
point
has this
times.
wisdom that he carries through this whole period of Klingon culture where it seems to be, in some sense, even though it's powerful, Klingon culture, and Kempak realizes this and points it out, like it's as lost as it can be. And when we meet it in this period, the 23 kind of 60s forward.
He has such a unique perspective. Like you often hear the phrase, how would aliens, if they were watching us from above, view our culture? That's the view he gets of Klingon culture. Like he grows up in the Federation and he can, idealize the Klingon Empire from afar all he wants to, and he can grab the best parts of it, which he would as an outsider if he looks up to it and wants to be a part of it. He's going to be like, these are the best things of being a Klingon and Klingon culture. I'll make those me. Whereas people that are living in the Klingon Empire are just subject to all the worst of it as well. And, are corrupted by that. So, or changed by that anyway. But, he
goes through real periods of being drawn to and disillusioned by Klingon life.
Yeah.
In that, Yeah.
All right. So this next one is on you.
All right.
So number 2.
Dun, dun, dun.
I can't believe I mixed up the sound effects. Number 2. All right, Dave, this is going to take some explanation by you for sure.
All right.
Why am I showing pictures of ships right now?
So here we are, the two brothers, Vorcha and Negvar. So Vorcha and Negvar are characters we never ever see on screen, but we do see these two wonderful Klingon starships.
Vorcha class, Negvar class. Now, all hands on the table, this may be beta canon or maybe just something we found on YouTube.
That's
I don't
true.
know
Now,
where
and
this
that's
comes-
true. We
I
are
don't know where this comes from at all, but
our
it's there.
source.
It's out there.
My source for this that I pointed to Davin was
This is a tie.
a video done
Or
some
tie.
time ago called by what channel was
It
it?
was a great
Venom Geek
video.
Media, I think. A great little video about these two
Yeah.
ship classes, and
In
in
the
it
histories
he
of the
talks
characters,
about a myth that really caught me, which is
Mhm.
Vorcha and Negvar are two brothers. The elder is not so physically gifted, but he's studious and he's a master tactician and strategist. His younger brother is gifted in all ways of battle and all physical prowess. And so whenever they go out on the field, Vorcha, I think it is, figures out the strategies, and Negvar plows through the enemies along the lines that he's pointed out. But eventually, they compete for the Klingon heart of the same Klingon woman. And
It's all such
I
a
think-
metaphor.
I know, it's just wonderful, right? And so it comes down to a duel. And Negvar, of course, destroys Vorcha in the duel, only to die by the poison Vorcha had already placed in his blood wine.
It's such a good story.
It's just
such
like
a
it's
good-
just beautiful picture of everything that goes on in that tormented Klingon heart that's
But
tearing
it also
at
is-
them this whole time,
God,
you know?
it's such a good metaphor because it's them battling for the Klingon heart. Like, should the Klingon heart embrace strategy or brutality or both? But the answer is both because they kill each other. So
Yes.
the answer is you actually need both of those. No one wins. It's such a good metaphor. And
Yeah,
it's
it's absolutely brilliant. And the story is told in such a Klingon way where like everybody dies. They're in combat. It's great.
Like, when I was like, "What? Who do you think should be number 2?" And this was your answer. I was just like, "What are you talking about?" And then you sent me that video, and I was just like, "Oh, okay." I don't know where this comes from, but I love
Yeah.
this. Like,
And honestly, in some ways, the fact that these guys are
Probably
number
from a
2 is really predicated on who our number 1 is here, because
yeah,
we're kind of
well,
moving from like the historico mythological into the real, right? As we go down
Yeah.
this list,
Yeah. So
this doesn't get much.
Number 1. I mean, I think it was probably obvious from the start. Alexander, son of Worf. I mean, I don't think there can be any debate, really. I mean, do we even need to say anything more? Dave, why is Alexander? No.
Oh,
Okay. That was
you're
a
gonna
bit of
make my head explode.
Okay, it's not
Oh
Alexander.
my god!
Sorry, Alexander.
Woo.
Was that a cheap shot? I don't know. Maybe it was. Sorry, Alexander.
Oh man, that was comedy gold.
But no, here's the real answer. Kahless the Unforgettable, not Kahless 2. Screw that guy. Kahless
Kahless.
the Unforgettable.
Mhm.
Now, this is the picture. I picked this picture very specifically because I believe, well, maybe it's not actually. I might have messed that up. But anyway, the best version of Kahless that we get, or the best description of his story and illustration of it, is in the comic book that we reviewed on Trekkletron.
Mhm.
Klingons one shot, where it's just the story of Kahless at the 3-turn bridge, and it's amazing. And
It's
that's
great.
that's what shows you what, like, they mention Kahless all the time in Star Trek, but that comic really gets the point across.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's so good. So Kahless. Why is it Kahless? Because it was an obvious number 1. He's the most significant Klingon who ever lived in the minds of every Klingon. He
Mhm.
gave them all the laws, and not really so much laws, but
Right.
traditions on which to
Yeah.
base their society on.
Right. He is the fusion of prowess and strategy.
Created this.
Mm-hmm.
And as that comic shows us, that's not just a myth, because a lot of things like that obviously are and things, but like, no, he did that. And then like the comic picks up when he just finished doing that and killing his brother. And then it picks up.
That's
then
right.
The story starts. It's just like, so I just, made a bat'leth out of lava and killed my brother. Now what should I do? And then, basically, which is go to
Off
this
to
3-turn
Tuesday.
bridge, which is the coolest thing, because it explains the Klingon symbol of the 3 kind of swerving triangles.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Oh,
and
it's this sort of feat of incredible. It's almost like one of these sort of like, Roland at Kosovo Pass sort of moments, right? Where it's this sort of unending day. And he really is.
Yeah,
this,
it is an unending
unbelievable-
day. He has to sit there and slaughter people for like a day. People just
Yeah.
keep charging him from all 3 turns, and he just kills them all for like 24. It might even have been several days, or a couple of days. Like it was a long time.
He keeps it
Until
up
all
a
the
long
people
time.
were dead. Until he exhausted 3 entire forces.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. He gave them their code of honor. He kind of is the Klingon society, the forebearer of it.
Yeah. And I mean, everything, they pattern everything on him, right? From the way they get married, like whatever they did to get married before. However, Vorcha and Negvar were trying to marry this woman is not how anybody married after Kalis was around. They're like, nope.
Where does
that's the way we do it?
Vorcha and Negvar fit in on the timeline as compared to
they
Kalis?
would be there somewhere.
Indication of that?
I think they are sort of slightly more mythological figures. So I think they'd be in and around the time of Kalis, but it would be almost like, I feel like Kalis is like the Warring States period in China, right? There's innumerable characters, and out of that, Kalis sort of emerges. But it's this extraordinarily complex time, and I think Morcha and Negvar fit in somewhere in there,
Yeah.
Or like Mahabharata sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. Well, that's our list. I think that just leaves one thing to say.
End transmission.